Hello, Namaskar, and a very good afternoon. Ajke Sunday, and Sunday is the day when we tell ourselves, yes, we will do it. কারণ motivate 2023 তে আমরা সবাই একত্র হয়ে দৌড়চ্ছি, হাঁটছি, পরিশ্রম করছি 2023 কিলোর জন্য। And আজকে we are extremely honored and grateful that we will be joined by Dr. Arpit Kapoor, consultant of internal medicine from Apollo Multispecialty Hospitals. Though it's a Sunday, we are extremely honored and privileged that Dr. Kapoor has joined us today. Thank you so very much for joining in, sir.
Thank you for inviting me today on this platform.
Thank you. You know, this group that we have, Motivate, there are two groups within this group. Inspirers are those, Jara Amra, we are on the bigger side, Amra Cheshta Korchi to lose. And all the perfect people, the doctors are the motivators, the fitness experts are the motivators. So, aaj teke from Apollo, you are also a motivator of the team. So, once again, thank you. The first question would like to ask you internal medicine and general medicine, just for a common man's understanding, what is the difference?
Practically speaking, there is no difference. It's one and the same. And the remit of the internal medicine and the general medicine is basically the same. So you can use the terms interchangeably.
Right, doctor. So ফিটনেস আমার মনে হয় এমন একটা জিনিস যেটা সবার ক্ষেত্রেই প্রয়োজন। সো আপনার কাছে যখন ওবিস হেভিয়ার পিপলরা আসে, what are the key things you tell them to motivate, the key areas? How do you motivate your patients to get back into shape?
Yes. So I think the most important thing for anybody to start the fitness journey is to make them understand that obesity is actually a disease. Uh, if a patient is coming in, he may have a different problem, but he is found to be obese or his BMI is on the higher side, then even if they may not have those obesity related diseases straight away, but there is always a chance that they may in the coming days develop such diseases. So first and foremost, I think the patients need to understand that obesity is in itself a disease, and this is something which they need to work on actively. Now, this is first part, and if the patients are able to understand, then we then proceed forward and give them advice as to how they can lose the weight and get back to within the what is considered the normal range of BMI. So this becomes even more important if they have certain lifestyle diseases associated with obesity, such as diabetes, hypertension, heart diseases, and things like that. So once the people understand that the weight is the major issue which is causing all these other problems to arise, then it becomes easier for the physicians, for the diabetes educators, for the diabetes nurses, and others to help the people in their weight loss journey.
Right, doctor. যেটা অধিকাংশ ক্ষেত্রে what happens is that the people those are obese, it is more of something which is there in the conscience. So we see ourselves on the mirror, we know the weighing machine is going haywire, but somehow there is that lack of motivation that most of us feel.
Yes.
So, in spite of understanding that এটা একটা ডিজিজ, এটা একটা সাংঘাতিক ক্ষতি করছে, তাও যখন আমরা পারি না, তখন as a doctor, what are the areas আপনি বলেন to start with, and how do we begin this?
Yes, so আপনি যেটা বললেন, it is actually absolutely correct that the most common answer that we receive from patients is আমি তো সুস্থ আছি, আমার তো কোনো প্রবলেম নেই, আপনি বলছেন আমার ওজন বেশি কিন্তু আমি তো সব কাজ করতে পারি। Now this may be technically true, but to make these people understand that obesity is the harbinger of a lot of diseases is a very common pitfall where that is the area where we struggle the most. Now, if the patients are coming in and we find that they are obese, and if you are able to get across to them that you need to lose weight and get your BMI back to normal levels, the first and the foremost thing that we have to advise them is to look at what they are eating, to see their plates, to see the portions that they are eating, and to see what the quantity of food that they are taking in. Once this is done, then the other part is to get them to do exercises or to get them to do some physical activity, whatever they are comfortable with. Somebody might say, I'm comfortable with only walking, I can't do running, that is good enough. Somebody will say, I'm comfortable with swimming, very good. Somebody might say, I'm comfortable with cycling, that is very good. But some form of physical activity needs to be undertaken, and it needs to be undertaken that is on a regular basis. You can't just exercise for 2 weeks 3 weeks and then just give up. So that is why a schedule needs to be uh, started by the patient, which they can follow in the long run. What I mean to say is, এমন যেন না হয় যে আজকে আমি 4 কিলোমিটার দৌড়ে গেলাম, পায়ে কোমরে আমার অত ব্যথা হলো যে আর আমি ছুটতে পারছি না, আমি এক সপ্তাহ আর করলাম না। This is the wrong approach. The approach it should be, I run 500 meters or I run a kilometer today. That is the limit which my body says is enough for one day. You come back, you go again tomorrow, you again go on the third day, on the fourth day, on the fifth day. That is more important rather than going ahead trying to run 5 kilometers on a single day and then your body breaks down and you just simply give up. The similar thing is with regards to the food. It is very common to see people taking drastic actions and saying that, okay, today I start my weight loss journey, I will just stop eating carbs, I will stop eating fats. That is not the correct approach. What you have to do is you have to tinker your diet, you have to change and play around with your diet. Carbs are highly demonized, rightly so, but we have to remember that carbs are the most essential fuel that our body can get. If you have to work, if you have to get up and walk, it is the carbs which is helping you do that. So pre Indian diets are very carb rich. We do not put a lot of emphasis on eating proteins. What we need to do is, if we start on a weight loss journey, is we need to reduce the quantity of carbs, reduce the quantity of fats. The operative term here is reduce, not completely eliminate. We can't go on a pure protein diet or a pure fat diet. We can't do either of them. We need to have carbs as well, we need to have proteins as well, we need to have fats as well. Along with that, we need to include the micronutrients, your vitamins and minerals, which we get from fruits and dry fruits and nuts and those sort of things. So a balanced diet is what is the need of the hour, rather than going for something drastic that আজকে থেকে আমি চাল খাবো না, আমি রুটি খাবো না, আমি আলু খাবো না আর আমার ওজন কমে যাবে. That is not how it works, unfortunately.
Something very nice that Dr. Kapoor said is that reduce but not eliminate. মানে কমাতে হবে, ছাড়তে নয়. A lot of
Correct.
hellos and highs are coming in for Dr. Kapoor, and যারা আমাদেরকে দেখছেন দেখুন, ডক্টর কাপুরকে আজকে এনেছি যাতে আমরা আমাদের মনের সব প্রশ্ন ওনার কাছ থেকে উত্তর পাই। So if you have any questions regarding your health, fitness, diet, or lifestyle, or anything for that matter, যেটার জন্য ডাক্তারবাবু হেল্প করতে পারেন, প্লিজ আপনারা প্রশ্ন করুন কমেন্ট সেকশনে, আমাদের লাইভ চলছে। So my next question is coming back to food. A lot of advertisements are on for this kind of vinegar, that kind of shakes, that kind of powder, and it says lose weight drastically. So আপনার মতে এই জাতীয় খাবার which is being asked as a substitute towards main meals, এই সম্বন্ধে আপনার কি বক্তব্য?
Yes. So I'll answer your question in two parts. The first part is whether these substitutes work or not. Now, as far as a grown adult is concerned who is able to eat and drink, there is no need for them to rely on a particular substitute or a particular formula feed or shakes and those things. You have to get all your nutrients from natural sources. Okay, there are plenty of foods which are available readily. You do not have to work hard for it, which can provide you with everything. You can simply increase the quantity of vegetables you eat. You can simply increase the quantity of fruits you eat. You can increase the quantity of dry fruits that you have. These will simply substitute everything else. The next part is you should never aim for a drastic weight loss that is associated with its own side effects. As a simple rule of thumb, what people need to target is a weight loss of somewhere around 500 grams to 1000 grams, that is 1 kg per week. Anything above that is too extreme. If you are able to stick to a target of somewhere around 1 kg in a week, that is good enough for your body, that is good enough for the body to adapt, that is good enough for the body, which for yourself as well. You do not have to go on a crash diet. You do not need to do something which is the fad in the west, such as juice fast or a toxic cleanse, those sort of things. That is absolutely not called for. You continue to have everything naturally. A very simple help in these cases is just avoid anything that comes in a packet, okay, such as your biscuits, your chips, your bhujias, your papas, and things like that. Once you remove those things, you will automatically notice that it becomes easier for you. All these things have a lot of preservatives, they have a lot of sugars, they have a lot of salts. These are never an healthy option. These are never good enough. If you These are never good enough even for a healthy person, and for somebody who wants to lose weight, or somebody who has comorbidities and wants to improve them, say for example wants to improve their sugar control or wants to improve their blood pressure control. This is one of the easiest things that you can do, is simply remove anything that comes packaged.
Right, doctor. Some questions coming in. Kuheli Sharkar has asked regarding sleeping pills. Sleeping pills ki newa uchit daily basis hai.
So this is again something which is a malady of the modern day life, where people are stressed, they find it difficult to fall asleep, or they might have some coping difficulties. Sleeping pills taking on a daily basis is never a good option, because they always have the tendency to form a dependence. Forming a dependence is not a good thing. So if you are facing some difficulties which is making you which is making it difficult for you to fall asleep, then I think it is better to consult your physician to get to the root cause of the problem. Maybe there are some medical issues which are not being addressed properly. Maybe there are some issues which are related to your sleep. There may be some issues, some mental issues which are not being addressed properly. So it is very easy to become addicted to sleeping pills. So I would definitely advise to not use it on a daily basis.
রাইট ডক্টর। একদিকে যেখানে আমরা ওজন কমানোর প্রচেষ্টায়, there is a question regarding weight gain. পূজা সরকার জিজ্ঞেস করেছে, is there any medicine for gaining the weight?
So again, there is no particular medicine as such. Some tablets which can be given to which can be given for you to gain some weight. So if you are finding it difficult to gain weight, then I think again it is important for you to consult somebody to find out if there is any particular health issue which is not uh, allowing you to gain weight. Your thyroid function may need to be checked. Your other hormone levels need to be checked, just to ensure that these are not interfering with the body not gaining the weight you may want to.
রাইট। আপনি যখন আমাদের গ্রুপ দেখবেন তখন দেখবেন there are a lot of people those who are heavily into building their bodies,
Yeah.
especially men who are into muscle building and constantly working and working out. A
Yes.
lot of people get dependent on various kind of steroids and pills just
Yes.
for that cut to happen, just for the physique to have that extra sheen. So would you like to give your comments on that, please?
So the ones who are into bodybuilding or who want as you said, the looks and the cuts and the physique, uh, they take steroids, which we call them as anabolic steroids, and these, while they may help you to build on muscle mass or gain muscle mass, they have some certain adverse effects impacts on your body. The most common being that they tend to cause demineralization of bones. They essentially cause your bones to weaken. That can lead to uh, these people having fractures very easily. Building up using steroids is never a good option. It has to be avoided. And if you are into building muscles, then what you need to do is increase your protein intake. If you are finding it difficult to get your protein intake from your regular diet, then you have the options of getting protein supplements, which can be good, which you can take. There are good protein supplements present in the market, but again, it is important that you do not take protein throughout the day. You have to have your carbs as well, you have to have your fats as well. And it is, while we discuss everything, we should not forget that jol khawa is also very very important. You cannot remain dehydrated. We live in India. It's a very hot country. It's a humid country. In Calcutta, people, it's the humidity is high mostly throughout the year. It is, people tend to forget that having good amount of water through the day is also an important part of their fit, of staying fit and remaining fit.
Coming to the question of water, এখন মার্কেটে এত রকমের জল, there is black water, there is this mineral in that water, that mineral, the prices change, the look change, there are so many international brands. What would you say about those kind of water, or just simple water is good enough?
Absolutely, simple water is good enough. Whatever minerals they are advertising, you can get them from any of the natural sources that is available. You don't have to buy all your fancy waters just to have the minerals. Whatever minerals they might be giving or they might be advertising, you can get them from any of this one or two fruits that you can have in a day.
Right, doctor. There is a question about intermittent, and I will just get that question. What is your advice about intermediate fasting or dieting?
So I think the person is trying to refer to intermittent fasting. So rather than intermediate, so intermittent fasting is certainly a viable option. Uh, you do not need to go to extreme lengths that I will fast for 18 hours a day or 20 hours a day and only eat in a 4-hour window. That is not a good advice or a good thing to follow. The simplest way to achieve this for Indian households is to take your dinner early. We, especially the ones on the eastern, in eastern India, we tend to take our dinners very late, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So if we can just prepone that time forward by a couple of hours, say we have our dinners by 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, and then in the morning whenever you are having your breakfast, that is all that is needed for your intermediate fasting. You do not need to go beyond that, or do not need to go you do not need to fast for 20 hours in a day and then only eat in a 4-hour window. That is an extreme thing to do. Just prepone your dinner timings by a couple of hours, and you will achieve your goal of intermittent fasting.
Right. Maida consumption নিয়ে একটা question আসছে. How much maida would a person need to consume if the person is trying to lose weight? মানে is maida consumption allowed in the first place?
A person who is trying to lose weight should have exactly 0 gram of maida.
Okay. Talking about food, because I think food remains a very vital, reason why we keep putting on weight and we are unable to get rid of it. What is your idea on sugar alternatives, as in substitute of sugar and diet coke, etc.? The alternatives that are available in the market which substitutes sugar.
Yeah, so it is a viable option. Your sugar free, your stevia, those type of things, which contain aspartame and all. I know there's been a big controversy in the recent days that WHO has added your sugar uh, substitutes in the list of medicine, in the list of drugs which can lead to cancer. But what we need to remember is what WHO is saying, that you do not have to be totally dependent on uh, sugar substitutes. You can have those sugar substitutes provided you are having it in a moderate quantity or the quantity which is prescribed by the health bodies. You can look up the FDA regulations as to the daily allowance or the monthly allowance of such substances which they feel is fit for human consumption. And if you are sticking to that, then I don't think so there is any reason to worry. As far as sugar-free substitutes of carbonated drinks, which you referred to, such as Diet Coke and Black Pepsi and all those things. Once a while, it is fine to have them. You can have it guilt-free as well, but don't make it a habit.
We have a question from Rochak Mehrotra. Fried maida sugar. Please rank them healthiest to least healthiest. Fried maida sugar.
All of them are the most, all of them are the most unhealthy foods that you can possibly imagine. Uh, if you are trying to lose weight, you need to avoid all of them.
Right, doctor. A lot of thank you. That's also pouring in. And we have a question that what is the substitute carbohydrate in place of rice and wheat?
Okay, so again, I think this is what I had referred to previously as well. You do not have to cut out rice and wheat totally from your diet. You can continue to have them. It's just that you have to moderate your quantity. If you were somebody who was taking four rotis previously and now you're trying to lose weight, have two rotis now. If you were somebody who was having a big bowl of rice previously and are now trying to lose weight, have a small bowl of rice. You cannot and should not eliminate all the carbs from your diet. This is something I hope is the lasting message that people should take from this interaction. You should not remove carbohydrates and fats from your diet completely.
One question just for curiosity, in your journey you handle so many patients who come to you. What has been the most remarkable change that you have seen a patient has achieved? What's the kind of weight loss somebody has self achieved?
No, so we come across many such patients who they have been struggling with their weight, and as you said, they are they have the consciousness that their weight is on the higher side and they want to lose weight, but they are finding it difficult. And it is only these simple tweaks, if they are able to carry out with relative ease. You just have to eat what is naturally present in your kitchen. You do not have to make any drastic adjustments. Just watch what you are eating. There have been people who have lost 15 kg weight, 20 kg weight, but I will caution and say that these people have been under supervision of physicians, and none of them have achieved it over a period of 1 month, 2 months. This has been a long journey. The people who have achieved 20 kg weight loss, they have done it over 18 months, 24 months, 30 months. That is what you have to do as well. And I again go back, the target of weight loss has to be somewhere around 500 gram to 1 kg in a week. Anything more than that is too drastic for the body.
Right. Just one last question. Question is coming from Mr. Rochak Mehrotra. How many cigarettes are okay in a day?
Zero, precisely zero.
Right. With this, Dr. Kapoor, any message for everybody watching right now or the video that will be watched by others later in the week?
Yes, just to conclude or summarize, obesity or you know being overweight is associated with a lot of diseases. You might be somebody who weighs a lot but do not have current diseases at the moment. Doesn't mean that you ignore it. uh, it is always possible for people who have gained weight to lose it back. Do not set drastic targets for your weight loss. Do it slowly, do it easily, and do not make any drastic adjustments in your life which will interfere with your weight loss journey. And I think the most important thing is that you have to enjoy your journey.
Right. Thank you so very much, Dr. Kapoor. Being a Sunday,
Thank
you
you.
have given so much of precious time. We wish you good health, happiness, and may everything be perfect in your life. Thanks for being a motivator. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you for inviting me, and have a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. With this, we thank Apollo Multispecialty Hospitals for their support in this journey. What began as one step in 2021, this is 2023, and we are taking tiny steps to reach a collective goal. সবাই মিলে একসাথে করলে হই হই করে অনেক কিছু করা যায়, and that is the beauty of doing or achieving something together. আমাদের সাথে আজকে ডক্টর অর্পিত কাপুর জয়েন করেছিলেন from Apollo Multispecialty Hospitals, and he's given some fabulous inputs. সত্যি তো একদম বাদ না দিয়ে অল্প অল্প করে কমালে সেটাই বোধহয় বাঞ্ছনীয়, এবং যারা অ্যাচিভ করেছে করবে তারা সেভাবেই করে, পুরোটা ছেড়ে দেওয়া যায় না। বর্ষাকাল হবে, একটু খিচুড়িতে একটু ঘি থাকবে না কি হতে পারে, কিন্তু সবকিছুই হচ্ছে নিজের ওপরে, and the conscience and the consciousness will make all the difference. আমাদের সাথে যারা রয়েছো, this is a chance where we get to ask our questions to the doctors of Apollo, যাদের কাছে অন্য সময় কিন্তু অ্যাপয়েন্টমেন্ট নিয়ে গিয়ে এবং নিজের মানে পয়সাটা খরচা করে গিয়ে উত্তরগুলো নিয়ে আসতে হয়। এখানে কিন্তু মোটিভেট এমন একটি শো যেখানে যেখানে রয়েছি সেখান থেকে কিন্তু পাই আমাদের প্রশ্নের উত্তর, and would request all of you all to please share the live যাতে আরো 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 মানুষ বেনিফিটেড হয়। and আজকে আমাদের অগস্টের এই এপিসোডে জুলাইয়ের মোস্ট মোটিভেটিং মোটিভেটার্স এবং মোস্ট ইন্সপায়ারিং ইন্সপায়ারার্সদের যারা আছে, কনগ্রাচুলেশনস। ডক্টর অনির্বাণ রায়চৌধুরী, সৌভিক দত্ত, মনোজিৎ মোহন লাহিড়ী, সুভাষ রোমা নিগম, most motivating motivators July, most inspiring inspirers Shayok Sen, Shubhra Shankar Chatterjee, Chandrima Bhattacharya, Sri Nanda Sen, এবং সঙ্গীতা কর, কস্তুরী ঘোষ এবং পার্থ সাহা, যদিও এনারা আমাদের সাথে অনেক দিন রয়েছেন, and this has been indeed a wonderful wonderful association. আমাদের অনুষ্ঠানের একদম শেষ লগ্নে চলে এসেছি, এবং দেখতে দেখতে কিন্তু দুর্গাপুজো এসে গেল। পঁচাত্তর দিন বাকি আজ থেকে দেখতে গেলে, তাই নতুন ফোন তো হতেই হবে, আর তার জন্য রয়েছে আরজি সেলুলার্স 9831544559। With this আমাদের অনুষ্ঠান হবে শেষ, কিন্তু not before I present something that I'm truly proud of. Senco Gold and Diamonds is now listed on NSE. Heartiest congratulations to Senco Gold Limited, and this is a little video that we will share. আমাদের অনুষ্ঠানের একদম শেষ লগ্নে, তাই একটা গান, একটা video যেটা I think makes my Sunday really musical and aspirational. Senco Golden Diamonds Everlight collection, something that we can touch. Halka Goina is always a dream that can be made true. There are too many schemes available with Senco. Choose your scheme and touch your dream. আমি সেই ভিডিওটা দিয়ে শেষ করবো, and once again let me thank each one of you for being a part of this journey. Motivate is a very positive group. এত কিছু হয় সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে সারাক্ষণ এই ওই সেই, কিন্তু তার মধ্যে একটা ছোট্ট গ্রুপ যেখানে রয়েছে এতটা পজিটিভিটি, এতটা ব্রাদারহুড, এতটা সম্পর্ক ভালো সকলের সাথে, সবাই সকলকে এগিয়ে দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করে। and আজকে ফ্রেন্ডশিপ ডে, তাই হ্যাপি ফ্রেন্ডশিপ ডে টু ইচ অফ ইউ। বন্ধুরা সঙ্গে থাকলে পৃথিবী এক নতুন আলো। আমি অনুষ্ঠানটা শেষ করার আগে দেখাবো একটা ছোট্ট ভিডিও, and with this would wish you a very very happy Sunday.
ঋতু পাল্টে যায়, কোন স্বপ্নে বাঁধা তুমি এত আলাদা। ছোঁয়া যায় না যায় না, ছোঁয়া যায় না যায় না, ছোঁয়া যায় না যায় না, ছোঁয়া যায় না যায় না। হাসি ছুটে যায় আকাশে, তোমার স্পর্শ নরম, তোমার কথা বলা পাগল করে দেয়। আকর্ষণীয় ভাবে তাকাও যখন, ঋতু পাল্টে যায়, কোন স্বপ্নে বাঁধা তুমি এত আলাদা। ছোঁয়া যায় না যায় না, 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 ও ছোঁয়া যায় না যায় না, 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 ছোঁয়া।
Everlight by Senco Golden Diamonds.